In the next half hour on the marketplace, government urged to support and protect Ghanaian businesses to stimulate job-oriented economic growth.
Singing this song of the private sector is the engine of growth. The private sector is the engine of growth. We've been singing this song for a very long time.
Concerns grow over young entrepreneurs and SMEs not being included in policy dialogues of the African Continental Free Trade Market. There is more as an African Youth Entrepreneurs Federation gets established to deal with this concern. Plus, Otumfuo gives go-ahead for demolition of structures to pave way for the Kumasi Railway project without compensation to victims. We have details on this. I'm Charles Aite. To our first story, economist and businessman Dr. Kofi Amoah is pushing for support and protection for Ghanaian businesses to stimulate job-oriented economic growth. According to him, no country has been transformed into a developed economy by fully opening up all its sectors to foreigners. Dr. Amoah has been putting forward some of these proposals on PM Express Business Edition.
Singing this song of the private sector is the engine of growth. The private sector is the engine of growth. We've been singing this song for a very long time. I think the song is tired. And I think we have to start looking at what other classmates of Ghana did to get from the beginning stages, post-colonialism, to where they are today. How did they migrate from nowhere to somewhere, where some of these countries that started with us are one of the highest per capita income earners in the world. So the private sector is important because efficiency is there and all of that. But in a society where the private sector itself is troubled, it doesn't have credit. Getting credit is difficult. You understand? So expansion is difficult. Then on top of that, you are dealing with a mass unemployment. So forget about the businesses, just look at the nation. How is the nation going to go forward when you have a lot of young people unemployed? The private sector in Ghana is not going to be able to absorb all these people. So I think we need to put a halt on that song and begin to sing a different song. And the different song that I'm going to propose is the same song that Malaysia sang. The same song, I'll explain it to you. The same song that United States sang. The same, the UK, Germany, those first wave of countries that started developing agrarian societies in the initial stages. You understand what I'm saying? You focus on the resources God gave you that is available to you and create a varied domestic economy. And then you create mass employment and you produce so many different items that can feed into your factories, that can be exported and create a wealth for your people. And then you begin to get into other areas to give you more strength. Then you can educate your people better education. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. With modern techniques of teaching, with computers, classrooms that look decent, so that the mentality that the kids are growing up with is enshrined.
You're still watching the marketplace. The Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement is in session with some inroads made towards maximizing the continent's $3.5 trillion market value. Now, even as member states partake of this single market, young entrepreneurs and small-scale industries seem left out of the big picture as they have no muscle and mileage to compete with well-established industries. It is for this reason that a network of young entrepreneurs from across the African continent that serves as representative voice for young entrepreneurs on AFTA has been formed by the Chamber of Entrepreneurs and other development partners. We're joined by Zoom by the President of the African Youth Entrepreneurs Federation, Sita Sofo Hissan, together with the Secretary General of the Federation, Sheriff Ghali. Gentlemen, we're so grateful that you joined us. Let me start off with you, Sheriff Ghali, because aside being the Secretary General of this new federation, the Africa Entrepreneurs Federation. You also assist young entrepreneurs with tools to maximize AFTA. How active, therefore, are young entrepreneurs in AFTA dialogues?
All right, thank you very much, Charles, for this opportunity and for being the first media outfit to give us the opportunity to talk about AFIEF, the After Young Entrepreneurs Federation. But then your question coming back locally is that these are some of the things that propel us to form the AFIEF, because we've realized that various African countries are in the road to implementing their own AFTA within the country. But we have situations where in our country, a lot of the young people are excluded when it comes to the dialogue, when it comes to the table of discussion with respect to AFTA. But here within Ghana, you would realize that at least a lot of the young entrepreneurs are ready and willing to be able to trade. Every day I get young people trooping into my office asking, how am I going to get a certificate of origin? What am I supposed to do to be able to get my product start being ready to trade? However, we will need to train the young people more further on AFTA. Because what we've realized is that though the young people are ready to trade on AFTA or to leverage the market, there is still a little bit of a lack of information about the whole protocols of AFTA. So yes, generally, young entrepreneurs in Ghana, we are empowering them in our own small way to prepare, add value to their product and get ready to export into the continent. But then they still need a lot of capacity building, and we use this to call on the state development partners to support so that the young people can be empowered in our country to start leveraging AFTA.
Interesting. Let me bring in Sita Sofo-Hissan. What exactly informed the establishment of this network? What are African entrepreneurs actually telling you?
Thank you very much, and then good afternoon to your lovely viewers. And then thanks for hosting us, Charles. Charles, everybody knows that united we stand, divided we fall. And then a lot of African youth, everybody is happy about after coming to Africa or African countries that is participating in AFTA. Everybody is happy, and Ghana is even happy to host it, to host the secretariat here in Ghana. But the question is that how do we benefit from it? Now, as young entrepreneurs, I can say that we are always the underdogs in when it comes to the best, because we don't have the needed capital, the needed resources. We don't have the money and the know-how, the capabilities to push and to succeed. So that's why we are saying that why don't we come together, organize the youth of Africa to come together under our network, which is AFIEF, After Young Entrepreneurs Federation, so that we can galvanize the youth and give them the needed information they need to know. Because there's a saying that if you are a prince and you don't know you are a prince, you can live like a pauper for the rest of your life. You can live like a slave for the rest of your life. We can all admit that we are in Africa, we have all the needed natural resources. We have the gold, we have the timber, we have whatever. But actually, we have the oil. Ask yourselves, are we Africans benefiting from it? They keep telling us that we are the future leaders. And my question is that when is the future? At which age will we get to the future? 50 years, 40 years? They keep telling us to wait. So we are saying that let's take our destiny into our own hands. Let's advocate. Let's make a stronger voice for AFTA to inculcate youth business leaders, young entrepreneurs, because AFTA is talking about 2063. We are talking about achieving a lot of milestones that will benefit the African Union. And AFTA is the game changer that's going to catalyze the achievement of the AU 2063 goals. So we are saying that the youth of Africa, let's come together. We need the support of the elderly and the people in power, the various presidents of the African continent, to support us so that we can actively participate and then serve actively and participate and serve our people and ourselves.
Great, but
so basically that's why we
do know
decided to come together.
Great, Hissan. But we do know that with 70% of Africa's market being SME based, how will this federation actually assist with the exposure of challenges hindering SME growth and also leveraging on respective member state reforms and policies for SME growth? Sheriff, if you could take this one up. Kindly unmute your microphone, please.
Thank you. Sorry for that. So that's what we are saying, that there must be a unified front that will champion the voice of SMEs. Yes, we have 70% of the African business population being SMEs. And these people, each one in their various countries, have issues they face. But how do they get this out? AFTA is not only for African countries, but the whole of the continent. What an SME in Ghana might be facing can be similar with what an SME in Nigeria might be facing. So the Federation is going to make sure that the voices of these SMEs are heard. When we dialogue with them, we get to them and get their issues and make sure it gets to the Secretariat. All right, this is what the SMEs in Nigeria are facing. This is what the SMEs in Ghana and other African countries are facing. How do we resolve it? This is a position paper. This is what we think. This is our advocacy plan. Then we can be able to dialogue with the AFTA Secretariat and AU to be able to put in place the systems and infrastructure that can support the SMEs without us being united as SMEs. And each one of us in our various countries are fighting to benefit. Without a unified front, we will not be able to get a headway.
Finally, gentlemen, if Hisan could also take this one up, what collaborative models have been employed to attract the interest of the Secretariat and even that of development partners?
Okay, we are actually working on our official launch by the end of this month, that's 31st of May, where we are going to bring together all these stakeholders, our partners, our members, and the Secretariat to come in for the press launch. Now, as I said already, we started talking to some senior officials at the AU level, trying to get their advice and their directive and directions. And we're also bringing together a board of advisors who are going to be people who are well versed in the African continental trade, and also officials from the African Union, such that they will guide us so that we will do everything correctly to involve all the AU countries and ensure that we have a very solid base.
Gentlemen, we're so grateful that you joined us with this initiative. And that was President of the African Youth Entrepreneurs Federation, SETA, Sofa Hisan, together with the Secretary General of the Federation, Sheriff Gali. Thank you very much once again. You're still watching The Marketplace, and the Asante Hino Tumfo Setutu II has charged the Mayor of Kumasi and the Ministry for Railway Development to go ahead with its intended demolition of structures on the right-of-way in Kumasi for the construction of the 6-kilometer Idum to Kasi section of the Western Railway line, the railway link of the Ashanti region to the Western region in that effect. We have more in this report. Recounting on the once vibrant railway system, His Royal Majesty said the railway system under the then Gold Coast was used for the transportation of gold, bauxite, manganese, among others, which created job opportunities, improved the living conditions of the people, and also enhanced economic growth. However, the several years of neglect has killed the rail transport system in Ghana. Otumfo Setutu II cautioned that no compensation will be paid to anyone whose property will be affected by the demolition exercise.
Sure.
The Railway Minister, John Peter Mewu, on his part, expressed concern over the numerous encroachments on the rights of the way. He also used the opportunity to brief the Asante Hene on the progress of work so far on the line to boost haulage transportation.
One of the major problems we're facing now is the line within the Kumasi metropolis. His Majesty, there will be a need to pave way for the right of way for some work to be done. And a lot of studies has already been conducted, and it's important that we inform you before we go ahead. What needed to be done is, over this period that the railway sector has been led to this state, the culture that we have, many people have gone on to those routes. And it's going to make it very difficult for the contractor to commence work if some level of demolitions are not done.
The sector minister reiterated that President Akufo-Addo is committed to building a modern railway network, and this he is committed to do. He expressed his kind gratitude to His Majesty for his support towards the rail project. Well, at this juncture, let's talk about online trading. Forex trading is still green in Africa, especially in Ghana. Currently, there are no domestic trading platforms, hence the government losing out on revenue, and GDP is skewed as these activities by retail traders are not covered. Gipti Anosika is a Forex analyst and head of the Women in Forex Ghana. She argues that with the rising of retail Forex traders in the country, enormous employment, career and financial opportunities, as well as an increase in revenue and appreciation of the city is expected. She joins us via Zoom to express her analysis on this issue. Gipti, we're so grateful that you joined us on the marketplace. How much is Ghana losing out from this untapped Forex market?
Thank you very much, Charles. Thanks for having me today. Economically, Ghana is losing over $200 million as of now, estimated wise, in terms of revenue. And the number is even too small. Forex trading is very good now, and we are losing over $200 million. So just imagine when
sorry to interrupt there. We're losing $200 million a year or a month?
A year.
Okay.
Because it's still green and we don't have a lot of people doing it. But as compared to the black market where we are losing over 15 billion yearly, we don't think when Forex trading becomes a huge platform and a huge career opportunity for people in the country,
interesting.
we are going to be able to make it.
Interesting, but currently there exist no regulations for this, Gipti. In fact, the BOG is exploring a SIM box to streamline activities of this particular market. With this non-existence of regulations, definitely will spring up the matter of, the black market. How is this informing the perception towards Forex traded in the country?
To be honest, with the delay in regulation on the part of the Ghanaian government, it is more detrimental to the government than it is to the forest trader. The forest traders mostly trade on platforms online from foreign companies that are heavily regulated. So their charges and their other stuff go to other countries. You know what I'm saying? So we are more of paying more charges to other countries and building other countries' economy than ourselves. So for the forest analysts, we don't really have any sort of negative impact to the delays of regulation. It's more of revenue loss to the government than to us. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. So, I mean, having noted this challenge, there exists the potential of the prospects in the future. As an analyst, how do you prospect for the future, looking at what is happening currently?
My team and I are advocating for more forest trading education and financial literacy in the future. That is the only way to go, because lack of education on forest trading and online activities has caused the country a lot of losses, and we are even still cleaning up the message of some of these bad investments online and stuff like that.
So grateful that you joined us, and she's a Forex analyst helping us understand the state of Forex in the country and the prospects there lie in terms of its challenges. Gari processing is a major business in the central Tongu district, specifically Mafi Kumasi. The process, even though very tiring and difficult, the residents find joy in doing it. Residents want government help to improve their trade. Ivy Setoji explores the process of making Gari and the challenges faced in the sector.
Residents in Mafi Kumasi in the central Tongu district of the Volta region are farmers who mostly cultivates cassava and other crops with these process for Gari processing. According to the traders, the difficulties associated with the processing of Gari, especially from the raw product to the main production, is worrying. According to them, Marketing of the gari is another problem, as they sometimes have to wait in vain for good bargain and sometimes are unable to sell their products.
This is back to Super Fair, and here they do mostly farming. It's a farming community, and as you can see, I'm trying to help the woman with the frying of gari. This is what we call gari processing, and according to her, they sell a bag number 5 for 500 Ghana cedis. This is what they do. They want market in this area so that they can sell large quantities of gari to people. Right now they don't have enough market, so they do all these things and they are still unable to cater for their families. Okay. Okay, so she's saying that they want government to help them tap some of the roads, farming roads, so that bringing the cassava from the farms to the town will be a little more easier for them, because most of the women do this to help their families.
The traders want government to enhance their production by providing them with equipment. An elder in the community has been speaking with Joy Business.
Headman. Vito Galiles Yakbe, Media Akbelible, never Mimronwa, Miago Akbeli. I know I'm a guy who watchy.
I'm the headman of Mafis Yakbe. Our dominant activity here is cassava farming and gari production. The traditional way of producing it has been a major challenge for us. Even in recent times, the hot weather is heavily affecting the cassava dough making. We can't stand the traditional ways again. We want the government to come to our aid by providing us equipment that would enhance our production.
Ivy Satoji.
Now, Ghana has exported maize to the United Kingdom as a pilot to the Nestle Ghana's Entrepreneurship Development Program. According to the head of the Agricultural Service, Faith Emers, Nestle collaborated with Sahel Grains, an alliance for a green revolution in Africa, to begin the Entrepreneurship Development Program to address challenges identified in the agricultural value chain. It is based on this program that Ghana exported maize to the UK this year. Mr. Emers made the revelation at the webinar organized by AGRA to discuss its contribution as well as its contributions, its partners to the Ghana's agricultural transformation agenda.
36 youth of farmers coach and mentor to establish an outgrower. We also provided the input supply like a seed, fertilizer, and mechanization services to the all youth who is part of our project. We also provided them with the precious technical know-how and hand-holding that give to the local farmer and SMEs to become world-class supplier. So if you look at the high-level impacts of our intervention with those youth farmers in Ghana, the yield, average yield, not the specific individual farmers, overall our participating youth entrepreneurs, their yield has increased 12%, while the income is increased 27%. Maize quality, which is very key for Nestle, is improved from 27% to 80% at the consignment level, which in our Nestle factory, when we are testing the grains with the highest quality standard, with the highest quality norms.
Meanwhile, founding director of West Africa Center for Crop Improvement at the University of Ghana, Professor Eric Dankwa, says the agric sector can only grow if it rides on innovation.
I dare say that funding strategic public-private partnerships for the development of the Ghana seed production systems is a smart development investment, and we commend the Ghana Inclusive Agricultural Transformation Program for the opportunity to lead the Early Generation Seed Consortium. We have even better innovations in the pipeline, and we ask for more support to show that we are a truly excellent institution. And as we say in Agra, let me seize this moment to appeal to the government of Ghana to do more for impact-driven research, for we cannot transform our agriculture without innovation. We need to build resilient and robust food systems underpinned by self-reliance. In closing, Mr. Chair, let me reiterate that the promise I raised in the opening statement could be turned into reality if we would prioritize agriculture. We have to think beyond Malabo, cross the benchmarks to demonstrate that we truly envision a Ghana without aid. Thank you.
This is the Marketplace. We're taking a short break to stay. And of course, for more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com to get yourself updated on all matters regarding business. You can see on the screens demolished structures along right-of-way for railway projects by the Otumfuo the second. Also, we'll pass on rising cost of fuel, new taxes to consumers. That's from the Ghana Union of Traders Association. Going down, we could have concerns regarding fuel prices, and ASEP calling for the overhaul abolition of the matters regarding MPA's tax, new taxes and levies. That's how we end the bulletin. My name is Charles It has been great coming your way the entire week. Let's do so next week. Enjoy the rest of our programs.